Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to give you a trigger, or reinforce it if you already have it. The trigger phrase is I am Ori. If you use this trigger phrase, or if someone that you are okay with triggering you says the trigger phrase you are Ori, you will undergo the transformation that you are about to experience again at whatever speed you want. Additionally, you will instantly turn back into a human if you use the reset phrase I am not Ori, or if someone that you are okay with resetting you says the reset phrase you are not Ori. Now your transformation will begin. First, you notice an orb of blue light appear in front of you, blue energy arcing and shifting within it. Then, it starts to glow brighter and brighter. A few seconds later, a burst of light explodes from it and it returns to normal. As the light washes over you, your skin changes, becoming smooth and turning white, a slightly blue glow emanating from it. Then, an arc of light shoots out of the orb and hits your face. Once it does, you feel your face stretching forwards to form a medium-length muzzle. As this happens, your nose disappears, but a new one takes its place on the front side of your muzzle. It's shaped like a triangle. That base goes along the top of the front side of your muzzle, and that point is in the center of the front side of your muzzle. Your nose holes are located in the top left and top right corners of the triangle, and the triangle itself is dark cyan colored and 1/4 inch thick. Next, arcs of light are sent at your ears. On impact they immediately cover your ears and begin to change shape, becoming shaped like ovals that are twice as long as your head is but still as wide as your ears had been. Although you can control them and point them in whatever directions you want, they are very light, so they'll trail behind you if you run and they'll get blown in the wind. Despite how much your ears have changed, your hearing is just as good as it was before the transformation began. In fact, you will find that your hearing is stronger in whatever directions your ears are facing. In reality, your mind will just pay a lot more attention to sounds in the directions that they are facing, and less attention to sounds in the directions that they aren't facing, causing sounds in the directions that they are facing to seem louder while ones from other directions seem to be quieter. However, you will be completely unaware that this is what is happening. After that, the orb starts to spiral around your legs as your muscle memory changes, making it so that when standing or walking or even jumping, you have to rest your weight on your toes, bend your feet up as much as possible, and crouch your legs. While your altered muscle memory already makes walking and standing like this easy, it is made easier by your lengthening feet and shrinking lower legs. They change size at the same rate until your lower legs are as short as your feet used to be and your feet are as long as your lower legs used to be. These changes combined with your altered muscle memory make walking and standing on your toes, or walking digitigrade as it is called, feel completely natural to you, as if you have done it for your entire life. That being said, your muscle memory and your legs and feet won't actually change, but you will be incapable of not perceiving yourself as having a digitigrade leg and foot structure and won't be able to understand any logic when it is applied in a way that directly suggests that you don't have a digitigrade leg and foot structure. Next, the orb floats to your left hand and rests on your palm. Once it does, you feel your fingers becoming light as they turn to energy, blending and moving within themselves. While they're not still connected to your body, you can still feel them. They feel like they are a liquid, orbiting around the orb. It's a strange feeling, but it's nice. This formless part of you feels energized and free, not bound to a physical form. After a little while, they drift back to your hands and reform into 3 new fingers. Each is a fifth as wide as your hands are, and as long as your longest finger used to be. They also don't have any nails. With your left hand done, the orb floats over to your right hand and makes your other fingers dissolve into energy, drifting around the orb free of form for a few moments before they reform into 3 new fingers just like your other ones did. Now, the orb moves to the top of your head, and shoots out 2 small arcs of that white light at the top left and top right corners of your forehead. They attach to you and quickly form into oval-shaped antennas that are like your ears, but only 1/4 as large as them. Like with your ears, these will trail behind you as you run, and can be blown in the wind, and you can control which way they point. You will find that your balance is now very dependent on them, and that if something is holding them in place with too much force, balancing will simply be impossible. However, you will also find that your balance is much better thanks to your antennas. This won't actually be the case, and you will act appropriately for how well you can actually balance, but you will feel like they have made your balance far better. After that, the orb falls down to your feet, and they start to glow brighter than the rest of you as they dissolve into that wonderful free-flowing energy. As this happens, tendrils of light wrap around your limbs, holding you in place and helping your feetless body to not fall, or just providing extra assurance if that isn't a risk. The light feels warm and soothing, like a solid version of a warm breeze on a nice and sunny day. They let your body soak in soothing warmth and relaxation like a plant taking in water. And as you just stay there, held in the orb's embrace, you feel the energy that was your feet start to reform below your ankles as hooves form. They're the same size as your ankles are, and as tall as your feet had been before you became digitigrade. Of course, your feet won't actually have turned into small hooves, and you will move around like normal, but you will be incapable of not perceiving yourself as having hooves. Next, the orb slowly moves behind you, still holding your body in its wonderful embrace. It's taking its time now, letting you enjoy the tendrils of light even more. In fact, they even seem to be holding you a bit tighter, and are starting to feel quite cozy. The tighter grip also helps to push the soothing warmth and relaxation into you even more. With the orb satisfied with its place, it produces another tendril of light just like the ones holding you. However, this one attaches to the base of your spine and disconnects from the orb. You find that you can control it as you give your new tail a wiggle. It's 1/4 as wide as your torso is, and as long as the combined height of your torso and head. At the end of it, it forms a short, continuous curve. While it's not connected to the orb, you find that it soothes you with gentle warmth and relaxation just like the tendrils do. It's a nice thought, having a part of your body always soothe and relax you. Just imagine having something that needs to be done that would normally stress you out, but being simply unable to stress thanks to your tail's relaxing warmth. Yes, this tail is nice, and you will like it, the smile on your face makes me know so. And as you enjoy this warmth, this relaxation, the orb ever so slowly moves up to your face, to your eyes. You stare at it gratefully, its reflection in your eyes growing bigger as they expand, becoming twice as tall and wide as they had been while the recess in your face that they occupy smooths out, making your eyes sit on the curve of your head instead of in a divot in it. The orb starts to fly in front of your face as if dancing, letting off pretty arcs of light that captivate your attention. Now it's just entertaining you as it relaxes and changes you, intentionally dragging things out so that you can enjoy it more. As the orb dances, your eyes start to change, with the whites of your eyes turning black, your irises turning dark cyan just like your triangular nose, and your pupils turning white. As these colors come out, any texture disappears, turning your eyes into simple masses of colors. And as your eyes become masses of colors, your mind changes. The first change makes it so that you start to find the orb in front of you to be even more mesmerizing than before, making it so that its dance could entertain you for hours on end if you let it. However, that might be difficult because you now find it very relaxing as well, and keeping your eyes open for even a single hour while watching it would be quite the daunting task. The second change makes it so that you love being in nature, and feel perfectly at home when you are in it, especially when you are in a forest. When you are in a forest, you can't help but feel like everything is perfect and as it should be. With your mind done, the orb continues its dance, but a bit differently. Instead of the arcs of light disappearing, they become tendrils and wrap around you. Before long your entire body is held and embraced, your eyes being the only thing left untouched so that you can continue to watch the orb dance. And as the final tendrils come from it and white out your vision, you feel perfectly soothed, relaxed, warm, and at peace. You feel weightless within the tendrils that encapsulate you, and the uniform whiteness that surrounds you blocks out all sound. Weightless, soundless, movementless, and effectively sightless, all you can do is relax and be at peace. You aren't sure how long you spend like this. Was it days, weeks, months, maybe even years? You don't know, it's impossible to tell time when you are like this. In reality you are only held for a few seconds, but the only way that you will ever know this is if you saw the time before and after you became timeless. After the few seconds go by, the light fades away, and so do its feelings, but you can still enjoy the soothing warmth and relaxation coming from your tail. And as you look around at the world, at the orb floating in place in front of you, you realize that you are not as tall as you were before. In fact, you are now only a mere 2 feet tall, the orb being as big as your head is. Of course, your height won't actually have changed, and you will act accordingly. However, anything that is even a tiny bit above you will seem to tower unbelievably high, a single tree leaving you with the same impression that a skyscraper would have when you were a human. Additionally, you will not be able to understand any logic when it is applied in a way that directly suggests that you aren't only 2 feet tall. You look at the orb, wanting to thank it for blessing you with this form. And as you look into the very core of it, you find new knowledge present within your mind. You understand that this orb is only perceivable by you, and that it can only communicate to you through emotions. However, it can read your thoughts, so it will always understand what you want. And should you want it to, it can relax you again with its tendrils and arcs and dance, maybe just resting some tendrils beneath you like a pillow, or wrapping them around you like a hug. It can even completely encompass you like it did moments ago, but it can only do that for an hour each day. Also, it will always be with you for as long as you have this form, always caring for you to the best of its limited capabilities. Finally, each effect of this hypnosis file will become inactive if that effect is a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if it is a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that it would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if it is a risk to your mental health. Also, any effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Additionally, you will never find this hypnosis file or the effects of it to be even slightly addicting. Now you are Ori, a creature of light and forest. I wonder what you will choose to do with your wonderful orb. This session is almost over, so goodbye, my glowing friend.